So today's video is one that I think I'm going to make from the perspective of trying to foster the discipline of researching things for oneself in order to be able to attain the information and also come to conclusions that I think will be sound. In my last video, I said that the gaming consoles that we have right now, the Series X and the PS5, are basically gaming PCs. To that, I received pushback as predicted. And I thought, why not make a video and actually challenge anyone who may be watching who is not necessarily sure to go do the research themselves and maybe come back with their own conclusions and then see how that pans out. But while you're at it, I'm going to make some statements that will probably help you so that you can go ahead and pretty much maybe, easily find the information that you may be looking for. Number one, the hardware that is actually inside of your PS5 and your Series X is similar to what AMD makes for the desktop and even laptop configurations of computers. So from a hardware perspective, there's no doubt about it. Now, you can go research that. I'll give you the specs. In the Xbox, the CPU is an AMD 4800S, and in the PS5, the GPU is comparative to a AMD's RX 6700 non-XT GPU. So go look those up and see if that is actually accurate based on what it is that I've said. The second thing that I've seen too that I didn't necessarily mention in that video is the operating system. A lot of people do not necessarily know this, but the operating system on the PS5 is a custom operating system that was built for it. However, in the case of the PlayStation or in the case of the Series X and S, it's actually a version of Windows 10. In fact, the Xbox One at some point was actually running this particular operating system, but it is custom made for the Xbox. In fact, I will say it is made in a limited fashion to only be able to serve the Xbox console. That's pretty much how I'm going to put it, because there is no reason why the Xbox cannot run full Windows 10, seeing exactly the fact that you have other laptops that are not as powerful as the Series X actually run that. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. There are laptop computers. There are things like Surfaces, little, computing devices that are old school that don't have as much juice as the Series X that run full Windows. So it seems like Microsoft and PlayStation themselves have gone ahead to limit these hardware, or at least these particular devices, so that they can only do or perform specific tasks. It's understandable, seeing that they actually sell by doing things like mid-gen refreshes. They actually have to go ahead and subsidize the machine itself. They don't give you the machine for the full price. Do you know that? I don't know if you guys know that. They sell you the consoles for about $100 to $200 less. And so this is pretty much what it is that you actually have to, deal with. For them to be able to give you this console for a very cheap price, there are some sacrifices that need to be made. In fact, the conversation right now is if Microsoft, Steam, and Epic Games are probably going to collaborate to bring, say, a combined platform, I would say compatibility going on. And I don't think that's actually going to be very difficult. In fact, if it happens for, say, the next gen consoles, I strongly believe that they probably can make it happen for even these current gen consoles right now, because all it's going to mean is them basically rewriting the operating system to be able to allow for it, or at least giving the operating system the possibility to allow for it. And for those who may say, well, this is still an operating system limitation and so on and so forth. Well, you have to understand that even in the space of, other PC computing, we have a lot of options. You have the Apple's, Mac OS systems, you have Linux, you have all of these things that all have their limitations. So operating systems usually have the, limitations, but it doesn't stop them from actually making or comprising of what makes a PC. Does that make sense? So the software, yes, may not necessarily be the same as a full-blown Windows 10, but it doesn't mean it's not a Windows 10 version of the software that's in the Series X. Also, even within the Windows paradigm, you still have other kinds of Windows operating systems that do specialty tasks, like Windows NT, which are networking-based Windows operating systems. Does this stop the Windows NT-based systems from being PCs themselves, or does that stop them from being, servers because they're running one kind of server software, one version, and not running the other? Well, this is not the case. So again, I'll leave this here so that whomever may be interested in the conversation can do the research themselves. I've chosen not to show anything in this video so that I can actually see who is truly taking a look at the information, or who basically just wants to object for the sake of objecting, because I think that's a norm that happens on the internet. Sometimes people will just, raise an objection but not necessarily dial in with what the facts are. So I'll see you all in the comment section. Let me hear your thoughts, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.